YouTube, which is my YouTube channel, and Bella, and today I'm going to be doing the For the Strength of Youth magazine for November 2025, and it's the general conference issue. Now, why on earth am I doing this in January? Well, because in LDS culture we get our December issue of Strength for Youth and Liahona in November, and we get the November one in December because it's the general conference issue. The Strength for Youth magazine is the general conference issue of it is one of the best put together magazines that they actually produce. Yes, we've got the blockbuster hexagons, beehive hexagons, and then you've got the contents, which is basically a lovely introduction, and then each article is a condensed form of the actual talk, which is much better than reading them all in the Liahona, to be absolutely honest, because these are more straightforward, they get to the point, and they don't burble off or wander off topic. I'm really pleased that we're no longer getting a Saturday evening conference in November or April anymore. I mean, in April or October, because it just felt like general conference overload. You couldn't actually get around to reading anything because you actually needed to sleep. So getting rid of the Saturday one is not a problem for me. Introduction. So obviously Russell M. Nelson sadly passed because he was 101, and we had an apostolic interregnum where the most senior apostle of the 12 basically leads the church for a bit, and that is Dallin H. Oakes. And then they reorganised the first presidency with Dallin H. Oakes and Christopherson and the other one, the really old one. They put some nice tributes to President Nelson there, and obviously we've got the family-centered gospel of Christ. Now, most of this he wrote when President Nelson was still alive, and I really like the fact that as a leader he chose to continue General Conference as if President Nelson was still alive. So he said, like, the majority of this is what I would have read anyway, which I think is really good. I'm liking the fact that we're back to the family-centered gospel, which is really good, because, yeah, it's kind of, the pandemic kind of like pushed it to the side, and we've got primary music, family proclamation, words from God. I'm liking the fact that they're actually starting to clarify some of it, and I will talk about this a little bit more in my Liahona review, to be absolutely honest, but I'm glad that they're actually starting to clarify it, because the Family of the Proclamation is a lovely document, controversial, a whole host of other things, but actually it's rather difficult to read now, which is a big problem. No one sits alone. Well, I like to sit alone, thank you, Elder Gong. The Lord is hastening his work, but I get what his point is. Good old Elder Cook. And then we've got this new chap who's a spring chicken. I wonder who the new apostle will be now that poor old Roy Holland sadly passed. Jeff passed. So we've got the Eternal Love of Jesus Christ, and now I see, oh look, there he is, Jeffrey R. Holland, sadly passed at 85. They're all not spring chickens, and they do have complicated health needs, just pointing that out at the top. And actually I think the next apostle that they pick probably should be in his 50s. Then we'd at least get another 40 years out of him before he croaks. And we've got Elder D. Todd Christopherson. He's now on the first presidency. There, Dallin H. Oakes. There he is, Eyring. That's the other bloke that's in the first presidency. He was in the first presidency with Prophet Nelson. There we go. See, I do know my stuff. I can remember everybody's names. There's just too many people. You never really meet them. So, yeah, there we go. Henry B. Eyring. There he is. Oh, and David A. Bednar. Yeah, I've heard stories about him. Not impressed. He kind of, Mr. Razban kind of gets pushed aside, but I guess he's probably going to come to the fore. And then our Saviour Jesus Christ is our ultimate role model. So there you have it. We've got cute little Walk With Me socks, which is the new theme. But I like socks anyway. These look really cute with little flowers. And we've got a really cute little necklace with it. Came with a poster, so we had the lovely Joy to the World Christmas poster, and then obviously it's quite poignant because it's Russell M. Nelson, And then we have Walk With Me in Moses in The Pearl of Great Price, which was shockingly printed in Liverpool in 1851. Shocker. And then you've got the quote, and then you've got the new church logo. So that's going to go up. I really like the fact they've included a poster with the November General Conference. The kids know the youth General Conference one is always good. The primary, The Friend, is also very good. To be absolutely honest, this is probably the best magazine that they actually produce. I think the General Conference issue they do for the youth is really, really good. And actually to the point. But that's just me. So I have now finished my review of Strength for Youth November 2025. General Conference issue. Sign of good leadership when a leader continues on what a previous leader has done, purely because it makes introducing his own leadership easier. Yeah, let's not reinvent the wheel. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and bye!